Hello.
What's up?
So today we're gonna talk about first time live, by the way. But we are gonna talk about Bitcoin supply held by whale entities. It's 2 months high in bullish sign. So we have big wallets starting to hold more and more Bitcoin. So that's definitely a bullish indication. Does it mean that we're gonna pump tomorrow? No. Does it mean that the price is gonna skyrocket and we're gonna begin another run up? Probably not. We'll have to wait until something happens. I'm thinking most likely we'll have to have some sort of catalyst before we start another leg up. That's usually how it works. And when that catalyst happens, and we're gonna have a move above this range, and then we're gonna start trading to the upside and maybe probably continue. $50,000 seems to be the first resistance level, and then we will see from there what the future will bring us. But whales are starting to accumulate, so that's a little bit of a bullish sign that we got going on. And yeah, what do you think?
Yeah, it's just one sign that we're in accumulation right now. We won't really know if we're in accumulation until like maybe another month from now. I expect us to just continue trading this range for a while. Maybe we come up and test the top side soon. Maybe we stay here. Maybe we test the bottom again. I don't know, but it just seems until we break out, just really nothing happening. And yeah, so check in the box showing that we might be in accumulation. So pray for Bitcoin.
Pray for Bitcoin. Going on, Kazakhstan to tax cryptocurrency mining from 2022. So the government published an official notice saying that basically they're gonna start taxing cryptocurrency mining in 2022. So it shows that a lot of miners are moving in Kazakhstan. So they're not leaving crypto completely because China banned the mining of Bitcoin and cryptocurrency transactions and all that stuff that we already talked about. So this shows that the government is taking things seriously. They want to tax the business, and they probably want to have it there long term, because if they're gonna tax it, it means that they're not gonna ban it, and it's always better to tax it than to ban it, in my opinion. What do you think?
Yeah, it's just showing that they're, setting up the regulatory framework for miners to come in. They're trying to attract these miners. They're trying to make money off of it, right? Like, they're going to move somewhere. And Kazakhstan is one of the big choices for them right now. It's cheap electricity. It's really close by, so they don't have to travel far. So why not? The only disadvantage I see in all this is that they do use coal, so not so great for the environment. But it does show that like the miners are, they're deeply considering this as one of the choices on where they're going to go.
All right, moving forward. House committee reviews cryptocurrency risk regulations in hearing. So it looks like the U.S. is also taking things seriously and starting to consider crypto regulations a little bit more seriously. We already covered this before in other episodes, but they also came out with in this hearing with a little bit of let's say worrying statements that don't really make a lot of sense, at least in my humble opinion. Like this was one of those statements. Cryptocurrencies are highly volatile. Yeah, we do agree on that. That's true. So if one person makes $1 million and retires at age 45 and 9 lose 100,000, Coinbase makes money, and one millionaire goes on TV and says how wonderful it is, and 9 others do not retire with dignity but instead become eligible for Medicaid.
So like yeah, the big like glaring issue with this right now is they're assuming that people are just chucking $100,000 into tops and then like selling it at the bottom.
Yeah.
Like if they're talking about retirement, like if you invested in Bitcoin and held for like 4 or 5 years, you won regardless of where you bought, right? Like this makes no sense. There's no examples of what this guy is saying. He's just talking out of his ass.
Yeah, maybe if you bought like really bad coins that had clearly no future, and you did not no research, and you just throw $100,000 into something random, No one does that. Maybe someone does, but they know the risk of what they're doing. They know that they're gambling. So if you want to gamble $100,000, you can either go to the casino, or you have the option. Yes, of course, you can go in the crypto market and buy like a dead coin or a coin that is like extremely small, not knowing anything about it, and just gambling all your money away. But how many people do that? Like, not a lot, not a lot. And if your plan is to retire by investing in cryptocurrencies, you're never gonna do that. No one in the right mind would ever do that. So it's kind of one of those statements that is, I don't know where it's coming from. Then going on, we have cryptocurrency is something you can bet on, but if people want to have the animal spirit to take risk, I'd prefer they invest in equity markets to support the building of American companies, or the California lottery to support the schools in my state.
Hey, like one big glaring thing with this statement I see is I'd prefer they. Like you don't get to choose how other people invest, man. And they're in saying that there's no innovation and nothing coming from crypto. The reason why like there's no crypto companies is because these exact people making these statements right here are not regulating it properly. Nobody knows like how you start a business in crypto in America, right? Like you think you're following all the rules, and the next thing you know, you're getting sued by the FDA or whatever.
Yep. So it's in fact afterwards Tom Emmer, we mentioned him just because he said something that was pretty smart. Over the last few years, I have been fortunate to meet with many great crypto and blockchain innovators, and that's the key word, innovators. A common refrain during our discussion is that they so badly want to develop their crypto and blockchain ideas right here in the United States, and this would allow them also to pay taxes in the United States and do all the following that was stated also over here. They support the U.S. economy. But they don't, because of continuing uncertainty with crypto regulation. So that's the big problem, the uncertainty. And we talked about it before. The uncertainty is a big problem. If you have a business, you don't know how you should get taxed. What should you do? What can you do what you can't do? It's really difficult for someone to have that level of uncertainty and want to build that business in a country with that level of uncertainty. So getting regulations and creating a little bit of a path for crypto businesses is extremely important, especially if you want to deal with the state, right? So it's really important. It really is. So we'll see what comes out of this further hearings. Probably something good is gonna come out of it. I think that these people are just uneducated. They don't know what they're talking about. They think it's just like the wild west, and in a sense it is, but there's certain things that have been proven by time, and one of those for sure is Bitcoin. Another one of those is Ethereum. You can't say that Ethereum is a scam anymore. You could say it maybe in 2017. You could say that Bitcoin was a scam maybe in 2014, but it's still here. It works. It does what it's supposed to, and there's no way you can call that a scam, unfortunately. So I'm sorry for the sore bears, the sore crypto bears, but that's where we are right now in 2021. Not a scam anymore. Going on. Marathon Digital Holdings reported a 17% spike in Bitcoin mining. So this is interesting. An interesting article. Definitely bullish for Bitcoin. Because they are holding those Bitcoins, so it means that they have expectations of upsides in the future. So when of course miners have to sell some of their Bitcoins to fund their operations, and we already know that. But whenever they are willing to hold on to those Bitcoins and maybe even have more than they had before, even at these low prices, when it looks like some days it looks like the market is gonna collapse down to zero, it shows that they support what they're mining, and of course they do, because why would they mine it if they didn't support it? So it's definitely something bullish. What do you think? What's your opinion on this?
Yeah, I mean, more people coming into mining is a good thing. Like I don't see any issues here.
All right, going on to the charts. What's going on with Bitcoin?
Nothing.
Exactly, that's the answer. Nothing is happening. We are still basically in the range that we were before the weekend. On the weekend, we had a couple of pumpies. This morning, they were, at least morning Europe, they were kind of, rejected. People started selling, and the price went down. We are pretty much still in the middle of the range, a little bit below the middle of the range, but close enough to the middle of the range. Is anything crazy happening other than Bitcoin moving? Not really. Ethereum went up a little bit. Altcoins are doing quite well, surprisingly, and did quite well over the weekend, which is extremely surprising given that Bitcoin is at $33,000. It's crazy. So that shows a little bit of bullishness. We have a little bit of an uptick on Bitfinex shorts. Nothing to be concerned about. Not a big increase like the one that we had on the 25th of June. It's a little bit smaller, a 7% increase today, so a little bit of shorting going on. But altcoins looking quite strong, Bitcoin looking sideways, you already know. And yeah, markets are closed today, so we're waiting to see what's gonna happen tomorrow. Markets probably are gonna increase the volatility of Bitcoin a little bit. We'll see maybe some action. Probably not. We're probably going to continue going sideways. Maybe go up a little, go down a little. No big deals. No big deals. No big deal. So, do you want to add anything?
I mean, it's not really much to add. It's just nothing's really happening right now. Alts had a bit of an up move over the weekend. So did Bitcoin. Bitcoin's got almost completely faded. Alts are still holding on to some of it, so maybe alts are going to start to look bullish against Bitcoin again soon. Too early to tell. One could hope. But yeah, other than that, there's really not much to talk about until, something changes.
Yep. So we're waiting and waiting. I think this summer is going to be a summer of waiting, and probably in September, something is going to happen. We either go back down 25 or we start bumping. That's one or the other. We have to wait and see. But my expectations is we're gonna probably have to wait till September to see something significant, unfortunately. So that's it for today, and I guess we're gonna talk tomorrow and cover other news tomorrow. Bye.